What I said to him was this: I would rather be annoying now in the moment than be annoyed later. That's the theme from a coaching call this week, the exploration around being annoying, annoying others, being okay with that, making sense of it. And this is what happened in my coaching call with a client of mine, Steve, this week. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to explain what this means, how you can apply this to your life, and how you can actually handle other people potentially being annoyed at you. Because for nice guys, woo, this one often cuts to the bone because we're avoiding annoying people because we don't want them to dislike us. Hang around to the end because I'm going to give you a key line that you can start to deliver in your life when it comes to the risk of annoying people, but saving yourself so much annoyance in your own life. If you're new here, click like, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications for when these coaching videos come out so that you can learn these lessons directly yourself. But first, hey legend, I'm Mike Campbell. I am the anti-nice guy men's coach. I am the founder of the Everyday Legends Academy, the head coach in there, and I support everyday men, mostly nice guys, in killing your nice guy, building self-worth, self-respect, and a solid sense of security so that you can move past your shit, the conditional kindness, the insecurities, and actually fully step into being a solid, grounded, unfuckwithable good man. So on to today's video. I'm going to explain this concept, what was happening in Steve's life, how I apply this for myself, the bridge to get there, and what you can do with this in terms of allowing yourself to annoy people, but what that means and how we can do it in a smooth, effective way that honors your boundaries, because this really is the point. So what was going on for Steve was this. First of all, what happens across his life in many areas, or at least it has historically, more so in his relationship where he doesn't want to annoy his partner, the potential of pissing her off, the potential of disappointing her. We've talked about this in another video recently. You can probably check it out somewhere. Whew. Nice guys don't want to disappoint or annoy people, right? Handling other people's disappointment and annoyance, because that means my status and my safety in the world is being threatened. So that would happen all over the show. He's been working on that massively. It can still play out in different areas because this is the pattern of growth. We work on something and then we evolve, and we don't necessarily become immune to challenges, but we face challenges that ask more of us. And this was an example for Steve. If you're new here, I call them all Steve in these videos to protect their privacy. Steve is a builder. He was on site with one of his contractors. He was talking to him about a task that needed to happen. And he said, this is the task. It's this thing over here. Now, Steve, the contractor is kind of standing just off to the side. Steve is explaining what needs to happen, what he needs this guy to do later that day. And then Steve's going to be going off site and coming back the next day. Are you clear on what I've said yet? Now, you're super clear. I've said on this side, it needs to happen this thing here, this thing here. You clear? You've got it all? The guy's like, yeah, man, I've got it. All good. No worries. What happens next? Steve leaves. He comes back. The guy has messed up the brief. He has not done it exactly to the specifications that Steve said because he didn't push for this guy to come and look and see exactly. He heard it, he didn't see it. Now, in this context, that was needed. This might vary in your own context, but here's the point. Steve could have insisted, hey, bear with me here. I know this might sound annoying, but I really need you to come in here and clarify and tell me, what have you heard me say? Please repeat back to me exactly how you hear and deem this job, task, whatever the context is, to be. If he was willing to be a little bit annoying to that person, because this dude might be like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you going to be this annoying right now by again asking me to do it? The invitation to Steve was to be willing enough to be annoying in that moment instead of absorbing being annoyed himself later. Because the result the next day was, that is messed up. I now have to deal with that. While this guy might have to be the one who comes back and does it, I have to pay for it. It's time off the task, all these kind of things. Again, there's different contexts that'll play out in different areas in your own lives. This might be a situation where you said something to a partner, or she said something to you, perhaps, right? And then you're like, yeah, I've got it. And then the day arrives and you miss a detail, you forget something, whatever it is. And she's like, I told you that thing. And you're like, no, I don't think I did. I didn't hear that part. And now there's all sorts of annoyance. Now you have to suffer the consequences of letting her down, driving back to the house to pick up the thing, whatever it is. And so the invitation is to start being okay with possibly, because it's not a certainty, possibly annoying someone a small amount in the short term instead of just always accommodating and then absorbing your own annoyance later, right? I would rather annoy someone a little bit now than be annoyed later. And this was a big step for me in my own growth many years ago. It's something that I am um, almost defiant in now. I am a unapologetically curious seeker of clarification, often much to the annoyance of my wife. She can be annoyed. You know what? My wife is allowed to be annoyed, and I don't have to pick it up and deal with it. And I will often seek clarity, much to her annoyance. And I'm like, too bad. I'm unclear on this, and I need to be clear so that I can take the next step, deliver for you, show up in the way that you want me to, whatever it might be. Then that detail goes missing. It gets messed up. One or two of us are more annoyed later from some deeper, more serious, impactful consequence. So I want you to ask yourself, am I willing to be a little bit annoying now instead of me being annoyed myself later on? And how you can go about this is a way that I shared with Steve, which is voice it. Hey, I hate to sound a little bit annoying now. Like, out it. If you fear that, voice it. Bring it into the light, and it holds less power. Hey, I'd hate to be annoying right now, but this is really important to me. It's really important that I know you know what I mean here. So can you please reflect back to me, repeat back to me what you've heard me say, what you understand the task to be, the request, whatever the context is. Hey, entertain me a little bit here. This might be a little bit annoying, but I need us to be clear on what this detail is. Can you repeat it back to me? Now, if someone has an issue with that, sure, they can be annoyed. But if someone really has an issue with that, I would question, why have you got someone like that in your life? But either way, it leads you into clarity, and then you can move forward with confidence and certainty, which is something a lot of nice guys struggle with. That is how to practice being a little bit annoying now, as opposed to being annoyed yourself later on. That's today's lesson. Next time, we'll see you soon.